Hi everybody, welcome to the Wee Garden Homestead. My name is Claudia. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today I am kind of in the sewing room. I am not actually sewing today, I am cutting. Now this is take 2 of this video because I did the whole thing yesterday and I had 45 minutes of unedited footage with not a sound. So all you could see in that video was me. Nobody needs that. I can't do a voiceover on that because I can't remember exactly what I said. And I could do a voiceover on the cutting part because it's just facing the table. But to be honest, it's just easier to redo it. So today I am cutting, we're going to call them kits, quilt kits. So these are for donation. And I'm just using a very basic strips with the fabric, slapping them together. And I'm going to cut these and let Jocelyn sew a few. Now I might sew a few too in case she doesn't make it over and I'm ready to start sewing. I will probably sew a few. I want to get 3, maybe 4 done because that's what fits in my Missouri Star and a bolt box. So when this is empty, it'll be ready to go. Last time I fit 3 in there, and these are going to Victory, the camp, Victory. I always want to say Victory Lane, and that's not right. Victory Junction. It is a camp for disabled children. And each camper, you've heard me talk about this before, if you've been here before, each camper gets a quilt and a teddy bear on their bunk when they get there that they get to take home with them at the end of the camping session. So they take donations year round. I think they might even have some like fall sessions or winter sessions or something like that. It's in North Carolina, in the Raleigh area. It's not even. It's about an hour away from there. But I cut 3 of these yesterday where she did this. She just gets them ready so that when she wants to sit down and sew, she can just sew. And I thought it was a great idea. And she also posted a pattern, and I'll share that link, and I'll share the link to her video where she did this. Now, I'm not using the exact pattern because I don't have the fabric requirements for that. And I'm making it just a little bit shorter than what that pattern was. So I have done a whole bunch of math scribbles. These are my math scribbles from yesterday when I cut the first 3. I have 2 I'm going to cut today. So I'm going to get you turned around and tell you what I'm doing with sound today. Okay, so I think I've got you pretty well centered here on the table, so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. First thing is to get this Missouri Star box out of the way so it stops taunting me, because hopefully you know we're waiting for Saturday night. We're going to open that on Saturday. It's been taunting me. It's been calling me saying, Claudia, open me. Come see what's here. So anyway, these are the ones that I made yesterday. And I measured how much fabric I had. And I basically, this is the main fabric, and I divided it by 3. And I got whatever this is. And then I took what was left and I decided how big I wanted the secondary stripes and the small stripes. So when this is done, and these are kind of wide, these are wider, but when this is done, it's going to be, it'll start, move this back this way. So it'll start like this, and then it'll have this, and then it'll have this, and then it'll go over again. It'll go black, the paisley black, this, and there will be four strips of this and 3 strips of that. So that's what I did. I got this one cut. I got this one cut. Same principle. These are going to be the main. These are going to be the wider, the next strip down. And these are all different. These are kind of cool because they're all different because of the way the fabric was. And then the purple. And then I have quite a bit of this. And I have another one too. But I had 2 pieces of this. So I did these wider and these a little narrower. But same principle. I cut 3 of these. I cut 4 of these. I cut 8 of these. And they're going to go together the same way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut a couple more. So I have the leftovers from this dinosaur quilt. And I did the math on this. And to do 3 strips on this, I need to cut them 8 inches. It might give me, I think it gives me like an inch or two left over. I'm going to go this way. So this is going to be 8 inches. I'm going to square that up. I'm going to cut 3 of these at 8. I don't know where I put my ruler. Oh, there it is. Okay, so 8. I'm going to have to make sure when Jocelyn does these too, that she keeps them facing the right way, because some of these are directional, like this one. I'll just explain it to her. I'm sure she'll be fine. Her mama has a sewing machine that's not set up. I told her she needs to get that set up. Jocelyn would be thrilled. She's going to sew. Sweet. If you'd like to see the quilt that I made with this fabric, I'll try to remember to put it in the description. That can go into my strip basket. There's 3. Face those all the same way. Okay, so the dino, then the blue, I'm cutting 4 of them at 5 inches. After I put these together, I've got 7, enough for 7 inches on the total on these 2 colored strips put together. So maybe I should do a video about how I did the math on these. Would y'all like that? A video about just how I worked out the math? Because I could do that on the next one. I really like this blue with the dino skin. Such a pretty color. And I can tell you what the measures were that I cut on these, because this is pretty much my own pattern. I've done patterns similar to this before. I did a baby quilt a couple years ago where I had like 5 or 6 fabrics that all coordinated, and I was in a super big hurry. So I cut that at 8. I'm cutting it at 6. I was in a super big hurry. So I just decided how long I wanted it and divided that by how many pieces of fabric I had, how many prints I had. And I cut these wrong. 3, not 2. I did that yesterday with one. We'll just put this with the ones I did yesterday that were wrong. So 3, not 2. So this is 3. Well, luckily I only cut 1 because I can get 2 out of this. Anyway, too much talking, running my mouth and not paying attention. So that's 2. Hopefully I still have enough of this. I just took the length that I wanted, and I just did width of fabric. I took the length that I wanted. I divided it by the number of fabrics I had. I added a 1/2 inch for the seams, and I cut each of the fabrics at that width. So let's say I wanted it 50 inches. I got to be careful as I'm saying numbers while I'm cutting. If I wanted it 50 inches long and I had 10 fabrics, I would cut each fabric, 50 divided by 10 is 5. I would cut each fabric at 5 plus a 1/2 inch for the seam allowance. It would be 5.5. So really, I mean, that's just, it doesn't get much easier than that. Just 2, 5, 3 more. 6. So there we go. That one is cut. This is scrap. That one is cut. So this is how it's going to lay out. Going to go like that with the blue. And then the dinosaurs. And then the green and the blue and the dinosaurs again. That's going to be really pretty. It's going to look, you know, really just as good as the other one, as the baby quilt that I did with this. So let's get these all together. Fold it in half. Now I've got 4 of these ready to go. Okay, then the last one I'm going to do is I've got this leftover. I've got a lot of this too. I've got this leftover what do you call those? Sunflowers. And there's my math on that one right there. I don't know if you can see it because I used a reflective pen. And then I've got this piece that I actually bought to kind of go with that. It kind of goes with the background there. And then I've got this green. This was one of my Walmart hauls. This was I want to say I got this for like $2 a yard. Let's see if it's on there. It's not on there, but I did get it on clearance. And this was a full bolt, an 8-yard bolt that I got. This is Waverly. It's not, you know, the best fabric, but it's not bad. So this is going to be my main. This is going to be my second wide strip. And these are going to be my little strips. This I can cut into 10-inch strips according to what I have left and the math. Always do math. This was from one of my Joann's clearance hauls. I didn't feel bad about doing all those Joann's hauls. It added up to quite a bit of money, but I've got so much here to do so many quilts that I think it was worth it. I mean, especially if I'm doing donation quilts, you know, I feel good about doing donation quilts. I like to sew. Everybody in my family has quilts. A lot of people not in my family have quilts. You know, how many quilts can I make for my family and give away? My daughter commented the other day, Jocelyn's mom, because Jocelyn's working on a quilt. She commented the other day that she was going to need to put an addition on the house with a storage room just for quilts. Because I make a lot of quilts and they make a lot of quilts. Or she, you know, Jocelyn's making quilts now. And it's okay. It's all good. A quilt is nothing but a hug. 2, 3, 4, 2, 6, 8. This out of the way. So I need 4 of these at 4 inches. Okay, let's lay these out, see what we got. So we've got this, and then this, and then this, and these will only be an inch when they're sewn, because I cut them at 1.5. And then this, and then this, and then another one of these. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. And that'd be good for an older child because they have all kinds of age groups there. My sister was very specific about that. She said they get a lot of donations for the young children, but not so many for the older kids. People forget about the older kids. So here we go. Put that together. And just like that, not sure how long that took me to cut. I'm going to look at my video here in just a second, see how long it is. But that one's ready to go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 quilt kits for donation, ready to go together. So let me see how long this video was. This video is at 22:44, so 23 minutes. I'm going to turn you around. So I'm a little red-faced today. It's a little warm in here today. I'm not sure why. AC's going. This is usually the coolest room in the house, but I'm a little warm today. I'm sorry about that. I don't know. So that's what I did today. I did go shopping with Salty at BJ's. I did not make a video of that. I'm so sorry. But we bought a lot of good stuff, and we probably won't have to go back for about another month at least. Some of the stuff we probably won't have will last us much longer than that, especially that massive package of toilet paper that I got. I mean, come on. But anyway, that's what I got going today. I've got to finish up a quilt, and then I'm going to be ready to start sewing on these. Jocelyn has a quilt that she's got to make a back for that she's been working on that we can post about. And I've got all kinds of stuff coming up. I got to get moving. I got to get moving. I got to move it. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a message. Do you do donation quilts? Do you do stuff like, simple, easy stuff like this? Let me know. Let me know what you think. I'm going to post link where she did these if I can find it again. And I am going to post the link to the free pattern that I didn't use, but I based these off of that. So look for that. Look for me on Saturday night, open in that Missouri Starbucks live. And we'll see you on the next one.